Hello, friends. How are you all? I'm happy to be back again over here as we see in the point number 4 as we are discussing about the self confidence that we have to develop. As the fact 4 says, the chief cause of your fear of public speaking is simply that you are unaccustomed to speak in public. Fear is misbegotten of ignorance and uncertainty, says Professor Robinson in The Mind in the Making. For most people, public speaking is an unknown quality and quantity, and consequently, one fraught with anxiety and fear factors. For the beginner, it is complex series of strange situations, more involved than, say, learning to play tennis or drive a car. To make this fearful situation simple and easy, practice, practice, practice. Okay, friends? You will find, as thousands upon thousands have, that public speaking can be made a joy instead of an agony, merely by getting a record of successful speaking experiences behind you. So the point we tried to understand, friends, was practice, practice, practice. The story of how Albert Edward Wigham, the prominent lecturer and popular psychologist, overcame his fear, has been an inspiration to me ever since I first read it. He tells how terror-struck he was at the thought of standing up in high school and delivering a 5-minute declamation. As the day approached, he writes, I became positively ill. Whenever the dreadful thought occurred to me, my whole head would flush with blood, and my cheeks would burn so painfully that I would go out behind the school building and press them against the cold brick wall to try to reduce their surging blushes. It was the same way with me in college. On one occasion, I carefully memorized an declamation beginning, Adam and Jefferson are no more. When I faced the audience, my head was swimming, so I scarcely knew where I was. I managed to gasp out the opening sentence, stating that Adams and Jeffersons have passed away. I couldn't say another word, so I bowed and walked solemnly back to my seat amid great applause. The president got up and said, Well, Edward, we are shocked to hear the sad news, but we will do our best to bear up under the circumstances. During the uproarious laughter that followed, death would surely have been a welcome relief. I was ill for days afterward. Certainly, the last thing on earth I ever expected to become was a public speaker. A year after he left college, Albert Wiggam was in Denver. The political campaign of 1896 was raging over the issue of free silver. One day, he read a pamphlet explaining the proposals of the free silver rights. He became so incensed over what he considered the errors and hollow promises of Byron and his followers that he pawned his watch for enough money to get back to his native Indiana. Once there, he offered his services to speak on the subject of sound money. Many of his did school friends were in the audience as I began. Yes, he writes, the picture of my Adams and Jefferson's speech in college swept over me. I choked and stammered, and all seemed to be lost. It happens, isn't it? But as Chauncey Depew often said, both the audience and I managed somehow to live through the introduction, and also encouraged by even this tiny success. Yes, we have to encounter, yes, even this tiny success. I went on talking for what I thought was about 15 minutes. To my amazement, I discovered I had been talking an hour and a half. As a result, within the next few years, I was the most surprised person in the world to find myself making my living as a professional public speaker. I knew at first hand what William James meant, yes, by the habit of success. Yes, Albert Edward Wiggam learned that one of the surest ways of overcoming the devastating fear of speaking before groups is to get a record of successful experiences behind you. You should expect a certain amount of fear as a natural adjunct of your desire to speak in public, and you should learn to depend on a limited amount of stage fright to help make you give a better talk. If stage fright gets out of hand and seriously curtails your effectiveness by causing mental blocks, lack of fluency, uncontrollable tics, and excessive muscular spasm, yes, excessive muscular spasm, you should not despair. Okay, friends, these symptoms are not unusual in beginners. If you make the effort, you will find the degree of stage fright soon reduced to the point where it will prove a help and not a hindrance. Okay, friends? So, we saw the important point of being confident, yes, was the fact number 4, and also the various points we saw that we have to be practicing, and always remember, we have to practice, practice, practice. Stand in front of the mirror and speak loudly. Read the newspaper or any English book, and everyday practice will make you perfect. Okay? I feel very happy when I meet you all via the channel, and I can speak, and also I want you to hear and also speak every day. Practice at least for 10 to 15 minutes. Speak loudly, and you will be getting confident every day. As we are climbing the ladder of success, we will be successful one day for sure. Okay, friends? So be encouraged and remove the fear from your mind. Okay? And be positive. God bless you. Yes. And see you soon tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.